Previously, so far, 500,000 people were evacuated and 12 of the fiercest warriors were brought to face each other. This was the Zodiac tournament. Each participant was ordered to eat one of the 12 poisonous jewels, which will kill them after 12 hours. To be granted the tournament's reward, the winner must collect all 11 jewels from others, obviously by killing them before the deadline. It becomes a merciless war in which survival is critical at any cost. Everyone employs their best strategies. Some use treachery, others use sheer strength, and some even use black magic. Halfway through the game, out of 12 participants, 7 are already dead, including boar, horse, chicken, dog, sheep, and snake. Now let's continue. In a flashback, Snake and Dragon, twin brothers, enter the building at the very beginning of the Zodiac tournament. They are confident that there is no way they could possibly lose with the teamwork they both have. That is until they meet Rabbit, and he decapitates Snake in a matter of seconds. According to what we can tell, these twin brothers did not have a very spectacular life prior to joining the Juni Taisen. The best they have ever been were mere thieves, though they weren't skilled thieves. Both brothers simply robbed others for pleasure and didn't appear to care what they took. They just wanted the items to be something valuable. Back in the present, with Monkey no longer alive, she is just another piece of Rabbit's collection. This appears to be Rabbit's objective, to acquire all of this year's Juni Taisen participants one at a time. He orders Monkey to enter the building on fire to grab Horse's jewels, as he had died from suffocation. The former, who is now Rabbit's zombie, sets off. She finds Horse, but his jewel is missing, so she carries the corpse back to Rabbit. Meanwhile, Snake encounters Tiger and the two begin fighting. The latter cuts off Snake's arm and grabs his alcohol barrel, which serves as fuel for his flamethrower. She thinks the struggle isn't worthwhile, and after consuming the liquid from the barrel, abandons Snake. Not seconds later, Snake encounters Ox, who severs his remaining arm and throws him to the ground. Tiger senses his presence and therefore returns while challenging Ox to a battle. Both ready to fight, only to be stopped by Snake's chopped arms that wrap around both of their necks. Ox devises a scheme while they are being suffocated to death. He advises temporarily abandoning the competition and forging an alliance with Tiger in order to defeat Snake. Dragon stands above, watching as Snake's dismembered arm chokes Ox and Tiger. He praises Rabbit's usage of his brother. The comedic scene of Tiger casually sipping gasoline pays off big time when Ox, who is being suffocated by Snake's detached arm, uses Tiger's alcoholic gasoline spit to kindle a flame, and the sparks are brought by a sword. This is one of the most inventive and bizarre strategies ever devised. His method succeeds in burning off Snake's disembodied arms. The plot goes deeper into the Sumida twins' past, and while it initially looks like there is more to their story than what meets the eye, by the end of it becomes clear that they are truly morally corrupt. In another flashback, Dragon and Snake are shown to be on trial for their crimes, with the latter defending them both. A compilation of their horrible actions is shown, actions they term as good acts, performed by warriors, in which they act like Robin Hood. Only if Robin Hood was a harbinger of havoc. They transfer great wealth to the needy, but each time it simply adds to the chaos and violence. As an example of their crimes, in one flashback, they are on trial for their offenses that have harmed the reputation of the prominent 12 houses. Both parties agreed on an arrangement in which orphans were supposed to be supplied to a research center where they would be subject to illegal experimentation. The twin brothers scammed their clients by taking all of the money for themselves, demolishing the pharmaceutical facility and annihilating everyone within. They also took payment to have the remaining witnesses destroyed. They were picked as delegates for the Zodiac tournament after being exonerated of the murders thanks to Dragon's persuasive arguments as a defense attorney. Back in the present, Ox's method of burning Snake's severed arms works, and he and Tiger are set free. He then learns that the only way to defeat Rabbit's zombie puppet is to burn them. Meanwhile, Dragon is planning an appropriate funeral for his dear brother Snake. Rabbit's zombie, Monkey, tosses Snake's head toward Dragon as he flies above the warriors. Snake's head distracts him momentarily, which gives Rabbit enough time to leap up and slash him in two parts, adding another zombie to his collection and another source of headache for Tiger and Ox. Now with Dragon gone, the tournament is left with just Tiger, Ox, Rabbit, and Rat. Then there's a flashback to Tiger's past. She was just a little girl before she became an alcoholic, dressed in a Halloween outfit. She was trained in dojo arts and was competent enough to wrestle with 100 people straight. Her master was well aware of her talents. As a result, she was raised to be a fighter. However, because she was so young and had not been adequately prepared for the calamities of war, drinking became a way of her to cope with her suffering. Then there's her tiger style. That resulted from being too intoxicated to stand upright with appropriate balance. Her humanity and compassion melted away after a while, thanks to the drinking habit and blood she spilled. When she should be somewhat sober, she used to question if her humanity ever existed in the first place. Tiger's memories were stripped away to the point where she had to rely on battle to survive, and even her master found it impossible to recognize her. As a result, he disowned her. Returning to the present, Ox and Tiger, who have never thoroughly planned anything before, understand they need to find a means to destroy Rabbit's puppets, who have been chopped up to bits. As the battle begins with Rabbit's puppets, Ox suggests to Tiger that Dragon's liquid tank might be the only answer. Tiger steals the latter's tank and explodes it, which in turn freezes all the opponents. opponents. Rabbit then finally appears from hiding, this time without his puppets. However, it seems he is nothing without his zombies, as he is quickly overwhelmed by Ox and Tiger. Thinking that Rabbit has been dealt with, they both prepare for their postponed duel. There is another glimpse into Tiger's past. She was previously besieged by troops in freezing city streets and was too intoxicated and cold to resist. However, the knight in shining armor, Ox, emerged from the shadows and killed the troops and saved her. Unaware of her identity and assuming that she was just a civilian, she was inspired to focus on her training, owing to his motivational philosophy that doing something right is as simple as making a choice and then acting on it. She was so taken with him that she seemed to have entered the Zodiac contest solely to meet him again. But here's the catch. He has no recollection of meeting her. Genuinely, this is the primary reason she appears to have a grudge toward him and wanted to duel with him. Back in the present, Rabbit shocks them by returning and attacking Ox with severed arms. Tiger comes in the way and gets stabbed instead. Despite the fact that Ox could have easily defended himself, the latter takes the terminally wounded Tiger and escapes the attacks of Rabbit and the body parts of his puppets. Rather than dying and becoming one of Rabbit's slaves, she asks Ox to take her life instead. He accepts to kill her, but only after losing a duel. He asks her if they've met previously and if she hates him for some reason. In her final moment, she states that she hates the brooding type like him and then succumbs to her wounds. Meanwhile, everyone, even the gamblers, have been wondering where Rat has been all this while. With Tiger's death, Ox's old memories resurface, reminding him that he did know her. But it isn't long until he is contemplating the futility of combat. He is unusually moved by her death and ponders the essence of the Juni Taisen and Rabbit's determination to win even after he was clearly killed. He recognizes that his sword will be useless against Rabbit, whose only weakness is getting burned. His train of thought is disrupted as the latter appears in the shape of a giant mutant zombie and confronts Ox. However, Ox isn't aware of the fact that the enhanced stature of Rabbit is not due to who knows whose body part he is formed of. No, it's because Monkey was hidden in there all this time. As soon as Rabbit starts to lose the battle, she appears and pins down Ox when his guard is down. Just as Ox is ready to give up, Rat finally makes his entrance holding Sheep's grenade. This was something Monkey had told Rat when she was still alive. So with Ox tied down by Monkey and no way out, and Rabbit attempting to reassemble, Rat asks if Ox has any dying words, to which he replies none. The grenade is detonated and Rat safely escapes to the sewers. That was the end of the Zodiac tournament and Rat has emerged victorious. The only problem for him is the exit interview, which he refuses to give. So Duo de Couple, the referee, tortures him in virtually every manner possible until he receives his response, for he is intrigued as to how Rat came to win, which appears to be merely intelligence. Rat was a genius strategist who tried 100 various strategies to win and decided that among them only one would work. However, he admitted that for this method to work, he needed a bit of luck as well. Duo de Couple is happy with his response, so he lets him leave, but not before reminding him to come up with his wish and his reward. As of right now, the only thing he wants to do is sleep. He returns to school now that the city has returned to routine. He considers his desire as the victor of the Zodiac tournament, but has no clue what to ask for. He recalls his conversations with the other tournament players and their wishes, and he was often shocked by their responses. He discovers he is the only person in the competition who does not have a desire. He thinks of 100 desires, each with an advantage and a disadvantage. Finally, he wishes to forget everything about the competition. He goes back to school the next day and dozes off as usual. The end. Thanks for watching. If you like this recap, please consider to like and subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell to be notified of any new recaps. And while you're at it, check out this new anime recap appearing on the screen.